You know, for these people here in Box Elder County, it's not something they have seen, I don't think, in their entire lifetime here in Box Elder County. And for us here at home, not only are we seeing the house here where these officers are gunned down, but we're also seeing video that these neighbors took of the aftermath that occurred afterwards. And I spoke to that neighbor, at least one of them, who was the last person who may have talked to that first officer killed while he was alive.
All right, check it. So we got 2 police officers who have unfortunately lost their lives, and another one was wounded, responding to a domestic disturbance in Tremonton, Utah. Yeah, that's right. A place, a little town somewhere I never heard of. Apparently today, somebody chose to lose his mind and just go all out, man. Y'all keep it locked right here. We're going to break this down and more. Like I said, we're going to take our hat off to these fallen soldiers because they were just trying to handle their business. But y'all keep it locked right here, man. Straight Shooter Podcast, baby. Let's rock. All right, baby. Like I said, y'all know how we do it, man. This Straight Shooter Podcast. I'm your host, Swift Dallas, a.k.a. 16-Pad Killer. And, of course, you tuned in to Straight Shooter Podcast on Maschine Mafia TV. And this is a safe place for unbiased opinions based on facts, where we give it to you straight with no chaser, all right? Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you stay in the loop every time I give y'all this news, all right? Who else do it like me, right? All right, so, yo, like I said, man, the 2 officers identified as Sergeant Lee Sorensen, 56, and Officer Eric Estrada, 31, of the Tremonton Garland Police Department are the 2 gentlemen you see on the screen. Unfortunately, they lost their lives responding to a domestic disturbance call in the area. And it's just kind of crazy, man. You know, that somebody's trying to go break up a fight or a domestic disturbance. And then you got somebody that's obviously, this man's got to be mentally disturbed. I mean, you know, the suspect has been identified as Ryan Bate, 32 years old. He has been arrested on 2 counts of aggravated murder, capital 1, attempted aggravated murder, first degree felony, and an assault, which is a class B. Hell, he shot the guard. He shot the damn.
Daddy's back.
He shot the dog too. He shot the cop dog. So, you know, that's just as bad as shooting a cop. Hell, they might give him more time for shooting damn Bowser. You better believe that. So, you know, like I said, I wasn't able to find a picture of this guy. You know, I got some news clippings, but we could get into it further. It just seems like we're busy fighting wars in other countries, and we got a big war going on in our own backyard, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is crazy. We got all this going on, but we worried about what everybody else overseas and everywhere else got going on. We got to, you know what I'm saying? We got to clean our own house up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Get mad at me if you want to.
It's really getting ugly in America, man. And you know, y'all could blame it on the president. Y'all could blame it on this, blame it on that. Nah, I'm blaming it on the people.
Too bad.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of wicked souls out here walking around. So y'all know today, you know, yesterday, just before 9:20 p.m., you know, the officers responded to a domestic violence call on the 700 North block of 200 East in Tremont. And when they got there, Bates had an AR out there and just started dumping. You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, so apparently, you know, they said that, you know what I'm saying, allegedly, you know what I'm saying, somebody kept calling 911, and acting like it was a joke. So when they finally rolled up, he pulled out and laid down on him. You know, I ain't gonna let no gunshots go, because this ain't no laughing matter. This is for real. Like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be the first person to tell you I don't trust the police, but I know they got a job to do. And within them doing their job, they know every morning, and their families know every morning when they wake up, it's a chance they may not come home. You know, and unfortunately, these 2 brothers ain't gonna be able to go home and spend more time with their family, all because of Mr. Bates here, 32 years old, out of Tremont, wanted to just, for some reason, set it off today. Now, you know, we really don't have much else besides, you know, thank God. Now, and this is what's bugged, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to an eyewitness person that was on the scene that that the news actually got the interview about it. But hell, the community was able to talk the man into giving himself up. Hell, he was ready to go to war with the police. The neighbors talked him out of it. This is crazy, man. So I really don't know what's going on here. But let's get to the bottom of it.
This is how it looked last night, shortly after 2 Tremonton Garland officers lost their lives, reportedly at the hands of an armed gunman.
Upon arrival, they immediately began taking fire. They requested additional units.
They didn't even give them a shot.
And then stopped answering their radio.
Oh, I hear them smashing windows.
A neighbor now sharing with KSL video he took of the roughly 50 officers who came to help them. It started just after 9 p.m. Police say the first officer had received several 911 hang-up calls traced to this Tremonton neighborhood next to North Park Elementary.
So see him calling and hanging up. He was using fish bait. Everybody knows if you call 911 and, saying it's a pickup and hang up, they automatically assume somebody's in duress or somebody's in trouble. So they're going to send a dispatch out there. They're going to get a cell tower ping or something and get a area of where that call is coming from. Let's be clear about that.
Neighbor Tyson Taylor tells me that he spoke to that officer trying to find who needed help.
And he just said, "Are you pushing the button for distress on your phone?" I'm just like, "No, I'm not doing that." So I showed him my phone, and then he just drove off around the block. He's like, "I'm just trying to find this distress call. I hope it would be an easy night," or whatever, just something like that.
Minutes later, Taylor says he heard gunshots and drove around the corner to find the officer still alive.
He was just on the corner, and I said, "Hey, I heard some fireworks," or it sounded like fireworks. He told me, "No, your neighbor on the corner is shooting his guns, and it's an active shooter right now." He says, "You need to go home and get in your home."
Moments later.
Well, now, ain't that the direction he should have been headed in the first place? He heard, it's like a scary movie. He heard the gunshots, he went straight to it. Instead of minding his business and going to safety, he went the wrong way. But, continue.
Later, Taylor heard more gunshots and learned the officer and a second Tremonton Garland officer were both shot and killed right there at the scene, while a Box Elder County Sheriff's deputy arriving with his police dog were both shot and injured. Brigham City Police now revealing the officers and deputy were responding to a domestic disturbance.
They really are unknown. We don't know what we're walking into, and they are one of the most dangerous events we can be dispatched on.
So far, unclear why the alleged gunman who lives at the home reportedly opened fire on the officers. But police say it was bystanders who actually convinced the man to surrender to the dozens of officers from Logan to Ogden who arrived shortly after.
Those acquaintances and relationships probably played a key role into that.
And that's one of the most amazing aspects of this story is that those bystanders are able to convince the shooter to be able to surrender. Now, we know that that suspected shooter has been booked into the Box Elder County Jail on charges of aggravated murder. KSL is confident we know his identity, but we're waiting for police or the jail to confirm that it's him. Live here in Tremonton, Cher, I'll send it back to you.
So, and even it was so touching. Even the lady reporter, she got touched up, broke down, started crying. Because that's a little small town, probably got a population of maybe 10,000. They don't get news like this, and for it to be this type of news, the whole town's in an uproar. So like I said, man, I'm a gun carrier. I have a carry and conceal. Be safe with your guns. But be careful out here, man, because there's a bunch of wackos out here that's just doing stuff that's really, some of these things that, we just can't even fathom coming from where we came from or years past. Like a lot of these kids just scared to get their ass whipped, and that's what a lot of them need, you know what I'm saying? But everybody could get a gun. It's just the wild, wild west out here, man. So y'all be safe, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Put it in the comments, man. Another senseless shooting. But, these brothers deserve their, Veterans Memorial. I don't have the right sound effect to do the sound off, but, rest in peace to them and their family. Hey, man, in the line of duty. What can I say, man? Straight Shooter Podcast, baby. We out.
you.